Welcome to another exciting episode of the $1 Million Peddlers. I'm Paperboy.
And I'm Mr. Magazine.
And it's the Hump Day Happy Hour Salute. And Mr. Magazine got kind of scared today, I got to admit.
Yeah, I'm not used to, 2 shots.
Well, we did have 2 shots, but it was pumpkin spice, which is the drink of the gods, Kahlua. And Mr. Magazine got real scared because he's like, Kahlua can get clumpy and nasty.
Yeah.
I said, just drink it up, big guy. And we had 2 shots of that, so... Of course, it's low alcohol.
It was low alcohol. I think I went a couple more, actually.
There you go. Yeah. We'll do it at halftime.
All right. So we have here, totally Travis is in the house. How's it going?
Been a while, Travis.
Yeah, but he's number 1 now. Gorgeous Guide Guru's here with a wrong hoodie prediction. Jay-Z Jeff's in the house. How's it going? Delightful Dawn is here, nice and early.
Oh, wow.
She'll be back and forth.
Okay.
Awesome Antiquarian's here. And we will not be behaving, Don, in case you're wondering.
Oh, behave.
And Marvelous Mr. Hot Wheels is here as well. How's it going?
All right, everybody. We're going to start the show as we always do.
Let me clear my throat.
Excuse me while I clear my throat.
All right. Magic Mike's in the house is also, see, coming in. Triple J's here. And,
Well, I know the question on everybody's mind is how the 50% off sale is going for Mr. Magazine. But let me preface this a little bit beforehand.
Okay.
We had mentioned last week that Orlando from Pure Hustle Podcast had a 55% off sale. However, come to find out from last week's show of theirs, that 55% was actually a 35% sale and then a 20% coupon. So even though it did add up to 55%, it was an unorthodox way to get there. And he said he was just going back to a straight 50%, that his sales tanked, even though it was 5% more off.
Yeah.
People didn't want to jump through the hoops of getting to the
that makes sense.
55.
So if he bought a Hot Wheel for $1 and was able to sell for $400,
now
he
he's
could buy
only
it for $200.
$195 now or whatever, right? Yep, not 200. Yes,
Gotcha.
exactly.
Okay. Interesting.
So he changed. So that was how he did, and he's back to a 50% off. So, Mr. Magazine, how is your 55%?
So the next
50%.
day, let's see. I think we hit it Wednesday. So we saw you guys Wednesday. Thursday, I got the orders in, and our sales quadrupled.
Wow.
Orders at least doubled or tripled. So
And let me preface this.
Yes.
Generally speaking, you have a 30% off sale.
30, 33 on everything under $50. Over $50, 10% off. So that jacked up to 50%, under $50, and anything over $50 went from 10% to 20%.
Oh, okay. So you're basically...
So we're not giving away the good stuff, just in case.
Right, but regardless, you're only talking about 20% difference from what you usually are.
Right.
So you're giving an additional 20%, yet your sales quadrupled in that next day.
Right, yeah. And sadly, we're still taking offers. So instead of me putting some for 33% off and then giving them 20%, now I got to think, well, they're already getting 50, maybe I'll go another 10, depending on what it is. So there's a little strategy and thought into it. But the next day was great. The day after was good. It was better every day. But I think Saturday was horrid for whatever reason. I don't know what the college football, whatever it is, but that would have been a normal day a couple weeks ago and like putrid, But other than that, we're selling way more items, at least double every day. So, and again, we're selling them cheaper, but more money's coming in. We got more orders. Everyone's happy. Everyone's pulling orders. Employees are happy, so they're able to get their one free meal a week or a month. So,
well, and let me ask this: wow, you feed and gruel, but good gruel this month.
We do have an employee meal once a month. Yeah.
Oddly, I never get invited.
Come anytime. Usually it's like 4 minutes up the road.
That's true. How long is your sale on for?
Right now, I have it on until I think. Well, they'll only allow you 45 days.
Okay.
So we do the max 45.
So you went
days.
straight 45 days of 50% off.
Wow. You could stop it if it was like not worth it. But like I said, the biggest pain in the butt is the offers coming in. You still get guys, no matter how much you lower it, they're still going to offer 50%, which is super dirt cheap and some of that stuff. And we'll take even doing promoted offers. Maybe give them 10% more off. So but I'm happy. I think it's a good move. We have too many items not to be selling. 20 a day is ridiculous. We should be selling. We're selling like 50 to 80 a day now. When say 30 or 40 was our average, now it's 50 to 80. So
nice.
And we're selling high priced items, middle of the road. Magazines are selling. So I'm happy. think it was a good move.
How about other sites?
Amazon's been great, other than yesterday was a slow day for whatever reason. Websites kicking butt. DVDs are kicking butt. I can't complain. But what about your sites?
Well, let's see how everybody else is doing
Okay.
out there, and then we'll check my sites.
All right, let's have here. Okay, Marvelous Metals in the house. Super Swamps in the house. How are you doing? Triple J. Yes, he does. Joy is here. Lovely Linda's here as well. Ferocious Feral Girl, how you doing? Oh, there we go.
There
So
we go.
far, it's a
Yes,
success.
Yeah.
Awesome Amazon, how you doing? Eric's in the house.
I'm shopping there, Dory. We can sell you stuff, though.
Yeah.
How'd you like to buy this paper going used cup?
Limited edition. Nice Nova, how you doing?
Small stack of magazines in a weekend. Most of the stuff I'm bidding on here is stuff
Oh, jeez.
for me, the house and the garden. There you go.
Oh, hold on.
Yep. I didn't want you picked up over the weekend. Okay. That's good. Sales were down last week, bad. This week has rebounded. All right. Good to hear. Picked up slightly, still in putrid territory, but the edge of putrid now.
Yeah.
The edge of putrid. Putrid. Don's picking up. Oh, yeah. Don's got.
We see a
spent
pattern
money
here.
already.
Seeing a good pattern.
That's a very good pattern for everybody. A couple sales a day out of 7,500. Ouch.
Yeah, that's brutal. Cool,
Ouch.
Karen, how you doing?
So Mr. Magazine asked me how my sales were. Yeah, I'm glad he took an interest. eBay's actually okay. It's been more or less okay for a while now.
Mhm.
It's not great. It's not terrible. It's just kind of okay. Unfortunately, I think Amazon, having only listed a few items this year, I don't know, 150 items this year or something like that on Amazon, I think it's finally starting to catch up with me because the last couple of weeks have been slower on Amazon. I think that I've not really put anything new on there. I'm going to see if I can't ride it out this year. And then next year after I retire, I don't know if anyone knows this or not, but I'm actually retiring next year.
Really? When?
Oh, well, I'm glad you asked. Why, that would be 23 weeks, 2 days, but who's counting? At that point, I think I'm going to have to include listing on Amazon again as part of my my daily
Yeah,
routine.
maybe some comics. You list comics anywhere besides Whatnot?
No, I just like to
Wow.
pile them up in my living room.
I see that.
They are
They stack pretty nicely.
They do stack nicely. They're great for collecting dust. Can't beat them for that. But it's finally catching up on me again for not having listed. So we asked at one point how long you can coast. We now know about 1.5 years, and then all of a sudden the sales start dying on you. Then Whatnot's been pretty good as far as that goes. I sold one item on $1 million peddlers over on eBay, one item on Vivs-Views, 5 items on Etsy. 4 of them were originally offered at $3 over on Whatnot. One of them went for $24. The book went for over on Etsy.
So that's your go-to. If it doesn't sell on Whatnot, you're putting on Etsy. Is that what's going on here?
These things are selling quickly too over on Etsy. The book I put up for auction, nobody bought it for $3. I threw it over on Etsy. It sold in about 1.5 weeks for $24. I'm trying to give you guys money. I really am. But people are saying, no, Paperboy, you keep some of that money. So I will. But now 3 or 4 out of 5 items that I sold this last week were originally brought to Whatnot. How crazy is that?
Very crazy.
Promoted 23 out of 31. So that was 60, about 70% promoted last week, which is a lot higher than usual. And the offers plummeted. We're down to 87. 45 of which were older. Now, I don't know if this is a glitch or what's going on. You know how when you go to your seller dashboard, you can see items that you've sent offers out on?
Mm-hmm.
So it suddenly occurred to me today, I know you check that box that says send offers out in the future.
Yeah.
I said, what if, and I know this is crazy conspiracy talk, but what if eBay glitched and it never sent those out? And you never had the opportunity to send them out because eBay was saying they were, but they never did.
Yeah.
So I said, let me go over and take a look at offers I sent and let me see if offers are being sent out on my behalf by eBay. So I grabbed a random item, like fifth item down. I go, okay, I do not remember having sent an offer out on this. Good item to check.
Yeah.
So I clicked on it, check offer details. It shows an offer having been sent in August. I said, why is it still up on my list for things that I sent an offer out on? Like, it should update every 48 hours, 72 hours. It should not show me things from August. So that is my big fear, is that all of a sudden eBay, and I know they're not the site that glitches usually, but if all of a sudden they were glitching, nobody would be sending offers out. Nobody would even be knowing that the offers wouldn't be going out.
Crazy.
That is crazy for me even to worry about that. Yeah. Kelly says, howdy, sales have been steady. Chuck, I did a big markdown too, but I turned off best offers. Have you considered doing that?
No, only because I have 200,000 listings, and I think that would hurt some of my sales. I think my repeat customers like to make the offers, and I do end up accepting a lot of them, especially now that if I have something 50% off, they're going to make me 10%. A lot of people either will buy it for that price at 50% off, or some people actually make a lower offer, but it's close enough where I'm like, let me get rid of it. Then you got the 50%ers that even want it half of the 50%, which I eliminate them totally. We try and ban them. But yeah, I think just because of the sheer volume of inventory I have, I want to keep moving it.
Okay.
All right. Bag Guru.
Shouldn't store comics in an abandoned building. There you go.
Exactly.
I watch all my TV online. The ads are different, but eBay was there a lot. eBay Authentic Guarantee and eBay Motors. Nothing about collectibles. Yep. The eBay Motors is the one they push. Had to buttress all your floors due to the massive weight of your books. Oh, yeah. Yep. We're down in the basement now.
Spooky backdrop. There's actually an industrial furnace back here, and that's why we're sweating profusely. Oof.
Do you know anybody that works on industrial furnaces? We'll have to have them come on out and service it.
Yeah, I do, actually.
Has anyone tried eBid? I just signed up for the Platinum plan for $70 lifetime subscription, cost listing fees.
Wow.
2% or less fees, cross-listed on my eBay listings. Oh, definitely do reach back out to us now if that becomes successful. I think I looked into eBid a long time ago, but we're talking 15 years ago.
So call it free bids, close enough.
There you go. So
it's a direct hookup to Google search.
Oh,
it's interesting.
Yeah, definitely report back to us and let us know how that goes. $70 though, that's a big upfront cost.
For a lifetime, yes.
How about buys? Anybody out there buying anything? Mr. Magazine, how about you?
Locally, not much going on locally. I'm saving money, but I'm spending it with Aaron. He's driving all over the country. He just went to North Dakota, went back to Wisconsin, pick up stuff there, and headed my shop with about 100 boxes again. So that's keeping me broke. That's with it, but it's good broke. It's good stuff that we sell a lot of magazines, movies, and so forth. So can't complain there.
Nice.
How about you?
I'm glad you asked. Anybody else out there buying anything? So I actually went to eCrater. eBid, I've heard, is really dead. Huh. Well, we're going to find out. We have an inside man right now over at eBid, so we shall see. So I did go to the flea market. Probably 30% of the people that should have been set up there. I actually beat a lot of the dealers there because I had a whatnot auction at 10 o'clock, so I had to rush back in order to get to it on Sunday. But I did buy a few things over there. Nothing great, but I picked up a few things. And then Mrs. Papergoy was working, so I picked her up from work afterwards, and there was actually an estate sale up on Titus Avenue about a couple blocks away from where she worked. I said, hey, let's go up there. Now, they had advertised, it was a nice house and everything, but they had advertised, $30 on $1. Nice. They had advertised everything must go.
Wow, nice.
So I said, all right, good to see. So I went around and they had Consumer Reports magazines.
Okay.
$5 a piece.
Ooh.
I said, nothing must go must be what they meant. Now, it was half price day, so it would have been $2.50. I said, I'm not paying $2.50 for a Consumer Reports magazine.
No.
If they told me the entire pile is $2.50, I might buy it, hoping to flip it to Mr. Magazine.
Thanks.
You're welcome. So I'm like, but they did have some sheet music over there. And so I went over to the sheet music and I start looking through it. And then on the front of the box, they had a couple of price stickers that said $2. So half price day, $1 a piece. And there's stuff in there, some Disney stuff from the 90s, Foolish Game by Jewel. I remember that was in there. Some Whitney Houston. So $1 a piece. I said, some of that stuff does sell. I said, yeah, okay. So I picked out 14 of them. Okay. The Lion King songbook, some other stuff.
Yeah.
So I went up there to pay for it. And the guy goes, how much are these anyway? I said, well, it was marked at $2 a piece, so it's half price. He starts looking at it. He goes, there are 14 of them there. He goes, how about $2? I go, yes, I believe that 14 pieces of sheet music that I picked out, I can make money paying $2 for. So I guess they really did want everything gone at that point. But again, that's just the crazy deals that are out there just because nobody else wants the sheet music. So he's happy to have it gone. Let's see if anybody else bought anything.
All right. John Jones bought shipping supplies.
Nice. 4-pound boxes says 15 ounces. Oh, otherwise smooth transaction.
Yeah, catering too. Can't argue with that.
1.3 billion. Yeah.
Nice.
9 license plates for 50 at the flea market, sold them for 100 at a private sale. Wow. Hey, that's quick turnover on that.
Exactly,
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. Yeah, except Mrs. Papergo, I might have put that golden horseshoe there when I go, look at the great sheet music I just bought for $2. And she takes a look around the house.
Exactly.
Now we're going to head on into glitch of the week. Couple of things. Over on $1,000,000.peddlers, an item showed up to make a best offer to watcher.
Okay.
I click on it, make the best offer. I get an error. Listing not eligible for offer.
Wow. Okay.
And now this is over on $1,000,000.peddlers where I don't have anybody blocked. So it's not like it's a blocked buyer either.
Yeah, right.
There's absolutely no reason at all. Like basically eBay said, and I don't know if the kids still say this or not, here, send an offer out. Psych. Do kids still say psych? I don't know if they still do or not.
No, they don't.
Oh, well, I'm bringing it back. Item specifics are not loading right. When I'm trying to do my item specifics, sometimes I click on the item to add item specifics, and it just circles and circles and never loads to be able to do it. And sometimes it shows right up. Some items it will not show up at all. And apparently that's, according to e-commerce bites, that's a known glitch. And it's been going on for about a month now. So it's great to have us do all the item specifics and then not let us do it. Mr. Magazine, you had a glitch this week.
Like I'm going to remember that.
And I quote from eBay. Exactly, Don. Your listing didn't follow our item location policy. Item location information must accurately state where the item will be shipped from.
That's right.
So Mr. Magazine, being a clown, decided not to list where he was located at.
So they say.
Exactly. But the beauty of it is they didn't even tell what the item was. So Mr. Magazine, I suggested he go through all 200,000 of his listings and check them for accuracy.
So we did call them, but before I called them, and it did say it was going to put it into the unsold.
Oh, it did. Okay.
Somewhere in that letter it said they're going to put it in the unsold, and that's what the person on the phone said. So here's the problem.
Okay.
75 unsolds. We had 3 people listing on eBay that day. They have their codes, and it's either all or nothing. So one of the listers had to have one, you put it in no location and then kept listing all day, if that's even true, or they never did it. So I did spot check every lister, locations and everything. I even went back to old listings that, we had some transferred from Ink Frog and so forth, make sure it wasn't that. We didn't see anything. So we called them up.
Yeah.
And they were dumbfounded.
Okay.
They did not have an answer. They said they will talk to IT, and I started laughing. They were going to call us back. I started laughing. I just said,
I'm extremely dumbfounded.
I go, you can look through these 75 too, but I didn't see any like that, And he said, no, it's okay. We're going to talk to IT. Doesn't make sense, but we'll get back and let you know what the issue is. I go, we just want to know if it really is our fault and we did something, which I don't think we did. We need to know what the listing is. We're not going to go through 200,000 listings. And if it's just unsold, I looked through pretty much all of those. So it's been 2 days, so we're waiting to hear back. So tomorrow will be 3 days.
Can I ask a really dumb question?
Sure.
Just a logical question.
Okay.
If eBay, let us go on the assumption that you did screw it up. If eBay has the ability to screen and find that problem, why don't they have the ability to put that in before the item gets listed?
Right. So it should tell you, hey, you can't submit this until you.
Which it does if you try to list it without a price. It says you need to have a price.
Right.
If you try to list it without a weight, it says you need to have a weight.
Yep.
If you try to list it without a description or a title, you need to have.
Yeah.
Crazy idea.
Yeah.
I'm really out there today. So am I.
Yeah.
Glitch on 10.3. Tried to send offers yesterday afternoon. Clicked the button to send, and it brought me to a page. This is not your store.
Cool.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. What are you spending money on? Jeez.
Then you should have sent everything out like 99% discount if it's not your store.
Yeah.
Undercut and then hopefully watch all that guy's stuff and then buy all of it. 99% off. Get a 0 active listings.
Crazy. All right.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Marity's in the house. Moving on's in the house as well. How's everyone doing? All right.
Wow. Yeah, I've had that happen to me before, and that is very, very frightening. Thunder and lightning, very, very frightening.
Not really anymore because we pretty much know what it's going to fill because we'll get the truck compared to how many boxes. We got it down to a science, but sometimes it is overwhelming. Like, he'll send me pictures and I'm like, wow, we could have used a bigger truck or we could use a smaller truck. But for the most part, it's always fun because I know it's going to be filled. Whether there's 80 boxes, 120, it's a lot of stuff I get to go through and sift through, and I enjoy that.
We're going to head on into site changes. And did you see? You probably don't read e-commerce bites, but pretty big news heading over there.
Okay.
eBay is changing the homepage.
Wow.
That probably will solve all of our problems.
How long has it been since they had an old homepage?
5 years, 7 years, something like that, according to the executive. And it's a stale-looking homepage. And gosh darn it, if they make it glitzy and pretty and shiny, then they'll solve everybody's problems. So as soon as that changes, we're probably all going to sell out. So that is a very positive thing.
Awesome.
So keep hope alive. You probably got to pull your 50% off sale now because you better be saving your stuff up.
Full price.
Maybe 50% increase surcharge.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
With the traffic we're going to get from that. I actually do. We've been bagging on eBay today, but I actually will say they did do a positive change, and not being facetious, they actually did.
Okay.
So I've been updating my item specifics, and on those rare occasions where it actually loads, it used to be there's a box there that you could check that says "Do not remind me of this again." So I would check that after I made my changes, and every once in a while you'd say, "Oh, I wanted to add in whether it was monthly or weekly," and you would do the drop down and say monthly, and that would de-check it. So then you had to check it again.
Yeah.
They actually now have it where if you check the box, it stays checked even if you make other changes. So that is a positive change. So we found 15 negative changes, but 1 partial. So the old saying.
Yeah.
You know the old saying.
14 wrongs don't make it right.
1 step forward, 15 steps back. You're not losing ground as fast.
Yeah, true.
So that's a positive. Glitches to Amazon front page. Yeah, who knows what might glitch? Who knows what might glitch? We're going to head on, and hopefully you all brought a lunch because this may take a little while. Mr. Magazine has the item of the week, and he's a little challenged at opening things. Now, luckily, I gave him a slicer.
Well, I was under pressure. The story was Monday. I wanted to show him what came in. I didn't see it yet. He was in a hurry to get to work, and I tried opening it by hand. And minutes and minutes and minutes went by. I said, "No, just get the hell out of here. Okay, I can't open this thing." So we thought it'd be fun to open it here. So here we go. Someone should time this really, because it could be 2 seconds or 20 minutes. So, and I don't want to cut myself on camera. What would you do? Would you just slice it? This looks dangerous to slice it, doesn't it?
Do not do whatever he's doing. This is not safe opening.
I should probably cutting away from me.
Toward me. You're cutting toward me. That's the key.
Well, that's the quickest way. The guy put a lot of tape in some weird spots that don't need to be there.
Let's pray he doesn't sneeze right now. Although that would be good content.
Hopefully I made some
headway.
I don't think I did. Oh, wait, hold on. I did it. So I did mention I'm starting to buy some affordable comic art. I'm going to have to put this on your floor. Or there. That's the sound of popcorn on Paperboy's desk. All right, here we go.
Free packing supplies. I made out.
Well, I was supposed to get.
Thank God we're not a podcast.
I was supposed to get the one that was at Universal Studios, but I guess I'm just getting the original here. So here we go. So the original of this was, well, not this is the original, but the one that they printed on was Universal Studios. So Spidey art. And it's done by, who's it done by again? You know.
Hildebrandt,
There we go.
which is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Greg and Tim, I believe it is Hildebrandt.
Yeah.
The Hildebrandt brothers, actually very, very famous artists. You definitely want to keep your eyes open for them. They're definitely a bolo. And that's one of a kind original art.
Yep. Yeah. She did send me the picture of what the poster looked like at Universal, but I thought I was getting that too, but I'll have to contact her. So,
Very nice.
We got more coming, some Star Wars art from Hildebrandt as well. I got a little in with them now. So I'll keep plugging away.
Nice. And so if you're interested in Hildebrandt stuff, reach out to Mr. Magazine. He might be able to work you a little bit of a deal.
Very true.
And the really other beautiful thing is that all of this stuff is all over the place now.
Oh, it's fun.
It's wonderful. Cool item, though. No doubt at all. That's a cool item. We're going to head on over to Insulting Offer of the Week. Mr. Magazine seems to be getting some duplicates this week.
Really? Oh.
Well, no. Last week, we mentioned a 1979 Atlanta Braves baseball signed.
Yeah.
$124. Last week, I believe you got a $40 offer. This week, it's down to a $35 offer.
Did we ban them? You got to ban them. It's going to be the same person, right?
A couple of weeks ago, you had Tua's first tickets graded. 150. Yeah, right. $156. This time they offered $40 on it.
Charge. They're all saying charge. That's great.
So now we're down to that got a $40 offer. This one seems to me to be the craziest offer of the entire week for you. You had a Phil Hansen autographed football for $44. A full-size football.
Sign, yes.
What's it worth as a full-size football?
I mean, even if the football's 50 and he charges 20 to show, let's just say.
They offered you $5.
It's crazy.
You're gonna pay more than $5. You're gonna pay $5 for a beat-up one at a garage sale.
Exactly.
Wow. A subscriber reached out. They had a $250 item. They got a $10 offer.
That's bad.
They declined it. The person came back with a $20 offer, which, they doubled their offer.
True.
They then got the band hammer. I had this one I like. I had a Gentry magazine, spring 1955, $54. I got two offers today. Now that is free shipping, and it has to go. The old days it would have to go priority because it's more than a pound. Now you can use the Ground Advantage, but still it's more than a pound. I got a $10 offer, which would be about break even if basically I'd be paying to get rid of it.
Yeah.
And a $45 offer. Guess which one I took?
The $45 offer?
You would be correct. Good guess. You had a 50-50 chance, so to be fair.
I'm getting good at this game.
I had a Mary Worth original art comic strip. I was asking $54. I got a $20 offer. One of a kind piece of original art. $20 offer with free shipping. And I had a Barney Google Sunday comic strip original art. And if you're not into comic strips, the Sunday strips tend to be worth more than the dailies. They're larger and they tend to be worth more. I was asking $138. I got a $30 offer on it. And my question is, who's selling that for $30?
No one, not you.
You also mentioned you had called eBay about another item.
That's right. Let me refresh my memory. I brought this here because my memory's not what it used to be. So I got an email.
That's kind of scary.
You mentioned this last week, kind of, or no? Said you had high item not as described rates in September. So the high rates not as described was my toys and hobby category.
Correct.
And my rate was very high.
Right.
So my thoughts were we did have some more. We sold a lot more toys, and we did get some returns, some older stuff that, the diehard collectors want tight limbs and arms and limbs and all that jazz. And the lister didn't put them in at first and started adding that into the listing. But we did have one gentleman that spent about $3,000 on 1980s wrestlers.
Okay.
And he bought like 40 of them separate, single wrestlers, 40 of them. We combined the shipping, one shipping, and I think we gave him a discount. So he was paying almost whatever cost was. So it's not like I had any fees added onto the 40. So he didn't like half of them, and he returned them all back individually.
Right.
So I had to pay $5 times 20. So I had to pay $100. So my thoughts were, this is the reason the returns are so high. So we called them up, and they were confused again. The guy was very nice. He took care of
you would make a great eBay customer service person.
This guy took care of both problems. Very nice, good mood, just didn't know a whole lot. And he kept putting us on hold and asking someone else, or maybe he was in training. I don't know. But he said, I looked at your not as described.
Yep.
And you only have 7 returns out of whatever thousands of sales you've had this month. He goes, you're in great shape. You're nothing to worry about. I go, but it says it right here. Can you look in an email? And he looked in the email and he goes, yeah, but we don't know what it is. We're looking at it now. And there's another gentleman with him. They're both looking at it. They said, everything's good.
So you're not paying more than.
So, and unless it was September and then it goes away back to zero and October starts, and now October I don't have any return toy return. I don't know, but they didn't know either, and I'm happy, so I'm in good shape. You know, can't argue with that.
Wow, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
You know, I was thinking, and maybe eBay wants you to do this, but I was thinking the other day with, you know how eBay has the option where you can report buyers?
Yep.
So over the last couple of months, I had 2 different buyers who reached out to me and said, I got this item and it was missing, blah, 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 which was the reason why I bought the magazine.
We get that a lot.
Both people, I said, wow, I'm really sorry to hear that. Return it for a full refund. It's free returns. Just return it.
Yeah.
Never heard from either of them again, which tells me they were fishing for me saying, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. You paid $20. Can I give you $10 back? Will you be happy?
Yeah, right.
They never returned it, dropped the entire thing. Now, I know that if I truly bought something from you and I truly wanted the article about Cheryl Teagues and it wasn't in there, I'd be returning it.
You have to. Yeah,
because I have that was what I bought it for.
Yep.
So I guess my question is, does eBay, and they should want you to report a buyer like that.
Right, for that reason. Yeah.
Because maybe they buy 20 items and they reach out to all 20 sellers and maybe 10 of the sellers say, oh my gosh, and give them their money back.
Right. Yeah,
and they pick up an extra $100 a week just fishing for returns. Whereas if eBay could take a look at it and go, well, wait a minute, this person bought 20 items and all 20 of them were missing things.
Right. Yeah.
Could that happen? It could.
I get that a lot with DVD buyers where they'll say, oh, it's not like new, it's not excellent, it's scratched, I want a refund, and they want to keep the item at first. And then I'll say, have you played it yet? Because if it's playing fine, you know, it's not like new, it's not new. We said it was very good. And then half the time they just end up keeping it as well. Oh, yeah, it does play. But they're trying to get me to give them a refund in the meantime.
Yeah. I actually sold a book over on Etsy, but the address was bad. I literally was trying to print the postage and it said it couldn't do it. I went online. I couldn't find the guy's address. I emailed him, never heard back from him. Had to cancel the order on Etsy. First item I've ever had to cancel on Etsy. Unfortunately, Etsy does not have a thing in there where you could, which Amazon does, you can say problem with the buyer's address. I believe eBay has that as well. Does not have that option over on Etsy. So if Etsy watches us, put that option in. It literally was something I had to cancel because the address was not good. That could be that. Who knows what it is? Who knows what it is? Mr. Magazine, you had a crazy customer.
Okay.
It was his birthday.
Yeah, it was, yes. Good customer, though, repeat customer.
Okay.
He's buying magazines. And he wanted me to throw in a freebie. Then he wanted me to throw in 5 and 6 more freebies, where it would have ended up being like.
And some of those were not cheap.
No, $20 to $40, and I think his order was $150 maybe. So I decided to go with the first one he had for $20 and just give it to him, you know. And that was it. He was asking where it was too, you know. Is it on its way?
Oh my goodness,
it's on its way, you know. But you know, and now I know that once a year he's going to bother me for more. So
as long as he buys in the meantime,
and that's part of the thing. I don't like to get too involved with like giving someone bigger deals than they're used to getting from the website or something, because then they want to make a habit of it. So you get 15% off at checkout. If you spend $1,500 or more, you get an extra. If you spend $1,000 to $1,500, you get an extra 5% off. And then if you go over $1,500 to $2,000, I'll give you an extra 10, so 25% off. We don't get many customers like that, but we do get them. So why would I give someone spending $200 the same deal as someone spending $2,000? So I like to keep it, you know, straight and narrow for everyone, you know, and works out well so far.
My birthday's coming up, just saying.
I can give you one of the other magazines.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. I'm good.
Then you can sell to him.
That's true. That's true. Well, you gave me packing peanuts. What more do I need?
True.
Mr. Magazine got a customer that wanted a order canceled. Hello. It appears this is going to drag out. Just thought you might have responded with a solution before now. I already have a refund from PayPal on the one item because of their prepayment debacle. Do not ship the item. Please cancel this order for this other item, which you already shipped the one item, so I don't know what he's talking about. I am not going to pay for it. It will save us both a lot of hassle, save you negative feedback too. Just need to move on. Sorry, it is not going to work out. Essentially what the gentleman did is he bought an item and he paid for it. Then he bought a second item and asked for combined shipping after having paid for the first item. And Mr. Magazine gets up and he's like, buy them both, whatever, but you can't combine shipping. Well, in the meantime, his employee had printed shipping on the first item and shipped it out. So by the time the guy reached out, by the time Mr. Magazine looked into it, the first item was already on the way. Too late to combine shipping at that point.
Yeah.
It was already on its way. So now the gentleman is mad at Mr. Magazine for not combining shipping, even though he paid for the one item immediately.
Yeah. Exactly.
Ban hammer for 1 month a year. Yeah, exactly. So that was a fun one there with Mr. Magazine. Hint, hint.
Yeah, all you have to do is put a $150 order in on the website, and you will get an extra magazine, $20 value.
Oh, I didn't mention this, Mr. Magazine. I got in trouble last week potentially with, that is true, with Amazon.
Really? What happened?
I sold a counterfeit item.
Wow. I'm sure you didn't know it was counterfeit. And I'm sure it really wasn't counterfeit.
It was a 1976 TV guide.
Wow. The Elvis one? The Elvis one?
No, it had
the Batman one.
A Barnaby Jones or somebody on the
Superman
cover.
One.
Barnaby Jones or somebody like that on the cover. The person bought it in August, put in for end of September counterfeit. And so then I'm like, what are they talking about?
That's ridiculous.
This is not counterfeit, obviously.
Right.
I did not print up a copy of a TV guide in my basement and send it to the guy.
Amazon doesn't know any better.
So then I went on there to answer the charge because I know it's better to answer the charge than to let it linger.
Right.
And I'm like, well, it's not counterfeit. I listed it on Amazon in 2010. So it took 13 years to sell.
Yeah.
Amazon wants an invoice from the last year. Even if I had bought it directly from the publisher,
right,
it would be a 10-year-old invoice, which would not be acceptable.
Well, here's the problem. Right. You can't get a receipt from me.
No, but let's say
from TV Guide.
But let's say I did go in from TV Guide.
Yeah.
It still would be a 10-year-old invoice, and they want an invoice from the last year. That's one of those situations that Amazon really needs to take a look at what the item is. It's one thing if I'm selling a Coach bag.
Right.
It's another thing if I'm selling a TV guide.
Well, and you should be able to respond as to prove that they even they reproduced and counterfeited these. For what relevance?
Yeah, nobody did.
You'll never find one in the world. But that's really the answer you need to prove to them. But they want that dumb.
The invoice, which again, take a look on your site. You see that I listed it on you see the listing date was 2010.
Yeah.
It's impossible for me to have an invoice from a year ago for this item when it's been on your site that long.
Right.
I accepted guilt on it because there was no other way to do it. And nothing has happened since then. Hopefully some human interacted with it and took a look at it and said, it's a TV guide. Nobody's counterfeiting that.
Right.
But there's the problem is anybody could go on anybody on Amazon's site and buy 3 items and say they're all counterfeit.
Yeah.
And nobody is counterfeiting that.
Well, you can buy an item that's new, open it up, break it, put it back in the box, return it. Amazon won't do anything about it.
It's crazy. A few other interesting other things. I was speaking with a subscriber the other day, and they said that one thing that they wish, they want to have multiple stores, which a lot of people have multiple stores, especially a lot of older vintage people have a second store if they're doing retail arbitrage kind of thing, because they don't want anybody to know what the replenishables are. So they have a second store for that. Yeah, free TV guide. Only on your birthday, though, Guide Guru. But they said there should be an easier way on eBay to flip back and forth between stores instead of having to log in, log out, do this, do that. Just, I've got multiple stores. Even if I'm paying extra fees on the second store or third store, have them all connected with the hub that you can jump into the different stores very, very easily instead of in and out, having to have different email addresses and everything for that. That's true. I was watching it, and that was not on Channel 7. She watched Channel 0. She watch. Definitely come by tomorrow. Come by Whatnot tomorrow, 4:00 Eastern. It's my customer appreciation sale. Books, all $3 starts. Do you remember that Anne Rice sign book we had, Mr. Magazine?
Yes.
You might be able to get that for $3.
Is that the one that did not get certified even though it's real?
They said it was real, but they didn't give any certification. Yes. Yep. That will be there for $3. Do you remember the Jack Johnson book that I brought over here as my item of the week?
Sure.
That will be there for $3.
Oh, wow.
I got a lot of really nice books over there, a lot of $25, $50, $75 books over there, all at $3. I want to thank everybody. You guys have all been great for me over there. It's been a lot of fun. And
you should say like Ed Sullivan. Got a really nice,
really big shoe. They're no longer on TV anymore. Exactly. Yes, it must be counterfeit. I made the stuff up in it. But yeah, definitely do come by Whatnot tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern. If you're into books, if you're into good deals, if you're into making money, come on by. Did you see the Rothschild family? Their treasures are going to be sold in a historic auction.
Wow.
In October, as a matter of fact.
They don't need the money.
That was Little Boy Blue. Yeah, I don't know why they're selling it off, but some of the family heirlooms are going off.
Wow.
No TV guides. I'm not selling any TV guides tomorrow, so you have nothing to worry about. Did you see Van Gogh and Pokemon teamed up?
No, I did not see that.
They did a whole bunch of Pokemons in the style of Van Gogh. So people went to the Van Gogh Museum, and the museum sold out of Pokemon items.
Wow.
But the problem is people are all complaining because scalpers seem to have bought up many of the items. So people were going in and buying 20 and 30 of each item. So it all sold out to the first people in line who bought a ton of them.
They didn't see that coming.
Right. Do you know what oak means?
No.
There is an oak collection of watches up for sale.
Nope.
One of a kind.
Okay.
All one of a kind
wow.
auctions. Yep. So now if you see an oak collection.
So all your art is oak.
Yes, it is. I'm going to start saying that. Oak. Christie's is having an oak collection, a watch collector. They estimate the watch collection to be worth $100 to $300 million.
So how long has he been collecting watches? Early stuff?
It's all one of a kind stuff. Yeah, I didn't mention how long it is, but it's $100 to $300 million collection. That's a nice collection.
That's impressive, yeah.
Yep. He knows what time it is.
But he may have spent $50 million on a collection.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If you bought them in the last 20 years or so, they're not cheap by any means.
You stepped over my joke.
These oaks. Sorry.
I said he knows what time it is.
Sorry, yeah. Jeez.
So another article there, they were talking about Etsy being a lifeline for the people in Ukraine. Believe it or not, only Germany and the UK have more items per capita listed on Etsy out of the larger companies in Europe.
Wow.
So a lot of people are selling in Ukraine are selling a lot of stuff on Etsy, and it's making a big difference. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Oh, Ashes. Wow. I did not know that. James Strand had a great comic book and horror book collection. Unfortunately, he passed away and his house was ransacked.
Oh, my God.
He had some Mile High collection comics, 9.6s, things like that.
So he died. Didn't have a family or anything?
He did have a family, but they were more worried about funeral preparations and all that stuff. And so they weren't.
Oh, my Lord.
They weren't like hanging out at the house or anything.
Was it graded at all?
9.6
so
Mile High.
Yes.
Yep. So if you're interested, if you see a lot of stuff like that, you can definitely go online and take a look at the stuff that's out there. And there are FBI's involved now and saying, hey, don't buy the stuff if you see it out there. Wow. 15 grand. Crazy. And Mr. Magazine is going to be spending a little bit of money over here on the show. We always do the Hump Day Happy Hour. We always do a little bit of drinking, and I brought over the Kahlua this morning.
Sorry.
And Pierre Chen has a Sotheby's auction. 25,000 bottles of wine worth $50 million are going up for auction. So I'm expecting Mr. Magazine will buy us a couple of bottles of wine. Come on by. Wine's on him. Oh, thanks. Wow, I got an off-center postcard and a counterfeit TV guide. Super. She said kids made fun of her buying Pokemon as a kid. Wow. There you go. Oh, do you remember a few weeks ago I mentioned Charlie Watts' books were going up for auction?
Okay.
The drummer for the Rolling Stones.
Mm-hmm.
You being a fellow drummer, I know.
Oh, yeah.
I think he studied under you.
I think Charlie Ward would have been funnier.
There you go. New record set for Sherlock Holmes, Hound of the Baskervilles first print went for $226,555. And a new record set for Agatha Christie. One of her books went for $63,968.
Good stuff.
Yeah, there's some good stuff out there. And finally, before we head into the main topic, I want to thank Local Mike. I was with him at Madison Bachville at the June show, and he kept pulling up this one magazine, tell me to buy it, buy it, buy it. You've had it before. It's The Boy's Life with Roberto Clemente on the cover.
Okay.
He goes, buy this. It's Clemente. You'll be able to sell it. And I'm like, Mike, I really don't like buy it.
You didn't want it?
No.
How much was it?
$1, a couple bucks, whatever. I go, fine, I'll buy it. It did take since June. It took 4 months, but I did sell it. So got $15 out of it. So thank you, Local Mike. I'll buy soda next time I see you or something. $2,000. That's crazy.
Oh, man.
That's crazy.
Popular Paul's in the house. How's it going?
Oh, Paul, I did get the order I bought from you. I did buy something off Paul, and he sent it out, and it came in today. So thank you.
It would be funny if it came from me.
That would be. That would be. All right, we're going to head on into the main topic, and Mr. Magazine's going to get this.
I'm so curious.
Yeah, from the abandoned subway, exactly. You're going to screw this one up, Mr. Magazine, but only because I have misled you with the title.
Okay.
The Great Resignation in Reselling. Now, are you familiar with what the Great Resignation is in popular culture nowadays?
If they teach it in college, no.
No, they don't teach it in college.
Answer still no.
After the pandemic or during the end of the pandemic, etc., people just figured out that, you know something, I want to live life. I don't want the drudgery of a job that I hate. And people all quit their jobs and all that kind of stuff. And, if they didn't like their job, they quit and got a different job, or they just, did gig economy, stuff like that.
Yeah.
They weren't tied down to a desk, tied down to a 9 to 5, that kind of thing. I hope I do too. That's what most people mean when they say the Great Resignation. Now, you may have had that with some of your employees. He signed 3 years ago to eBay. Laughing, I might be going back. Yeah, so he quit his job to do eBay.
Yeah.
But that's not what I'm talking about, Mr. Magazine.
Okay.
I'll go first today. In my day job, as many of you know, I'm an auditor. And part of the job, unfortunately, there are times when you end up giving somebody a bill. And I've been doing this for 33 years now. And it's never easy to give somebody a bill. It's not easy. And there have been times where I've had to fight tooth and nail to explain why what I'm saying is correct. You may disagree with me, but you owe $8,000. I'm sorry. That's the way it is. And here's the reason why. And you would get into some heated discussions with people about it. I have noticed that about the last year and a half, 2 years, it doesn't matter what I tell you. You say, all right. And you sign and you move on. And I call that the Great Resignation, that I think so many people are beaten down that you can't fight City Hall. And is it worth getting upset? Is it worth arguing about? Or do you just kind of accept it? eBay fees are going to go up. Postage is going to go up. Cost of supplies is going to go up. You can stand and scream at the clouds and shake your fist. It's not going to change anything. And I think more and more people have just resigned themselves to, it's just the way it's going to be.
Right.
I can work harder, and that's about the only possible way to do it. But getting upset's not going to help. I can go and scream at eBay, what did you do? Or scream at Amazon, or scream at. In the end of the day, nothing's going to change.
Right.
And people are resigned to it or more accepting of it. What is your opinion, Mr. Magazine?
I guess to each his own. I mean,
I guess, do you fight the way you used to? Do you scream at the clouds?
No, well, it depends. Like eBay, I used to love fighting with eBay and Amazon years ago, and it really gets you nowhere. And then, my manager, my sister, she gets frustrated and she wants to fight me. I go, don't waste your time. You're not going to win. We've never won once. They've never understood or seen things from our point of view. Just don't. It's not worth the fight. So
sometimes you might call just to get it on the record that you called.
Yes.
In other words, you don't expect anything to come out of it.
Right.
I just have to call. I have to get it on the record.
Right.
And
well, even if it's as simple as we're listing adult signed cards that everyone else is listing that are nude, but we want to make sure they're in the right category. Well, we want them to note that we called to make sure. So in case something's wrong, hey, we called, we made an effort. You told us what to do.
They don't just
why would we
you.
call and you told us not to do it, and then we're doing it. So obviously there's miscommunication, or you're changing the rules as they're going on. So yeah, it's best to get your, an email, some correspondence as proof. But there's been times where we'll call back on something. I'll say, no one wrote anything down. There's no notation. Yeah. So I mean, but I generally don't. It's not worth the fight on that type of stuff anymore. I mean, there might be things that are worth fighting for. I haven't seen anything where I need to argue with these companies anymore.
Yeah,
even with employees. Yep. I got some employees that are slackers. They're good employees where we need them to a certain extent. Don't want to fire them, so we give them some leeway, but they'll take advantage of it and come in whenever they want. Don't call when they're not coming in and this and that. We got to have a talk with them, but. If I have to fire everyone that does that, I'd have no employees. So, I mean, we got to keep the ball rolling, got to keep the money coming in. So there's a couple handful of employees like that. We just deal with them. They're valuable enough where I accept it. I don't like to.
Would one of them rhyme with Paper Roy?
No.
Oh.
No, these are younger people in their 30s and 40s. So
I look like I'm in my 30s and 40s.
As far as you know, yes.
I am half blind.
Yeah. You see yourself from 12 feet away.
That's true.
But yeah, it's not worth the fight. Even if it's personal with a family member or a friend or something. I generally don't argue. I'm more of a mock you out. That's my way of fighting with you. I'm gonna put you down in a different way or something instead of fighting on a topic. If I think I'm right or whatever, I just bite my tongue sometimes.
Well, and then the other question I wrote down is: have you seen? When you're going to buy stuff from people, have you seen a resignation from people? In other words, are they more accepting of your offers?
Actually, now I will tell them, because again, I'm not lying when I say I have a ton of inventory.
Yes,
Market's slow.
Yes, it is.
And a lot of people that sell me the stuff through the shop is toys and comics and magazines and sports cards and stuff. Those are the things that, well, I'm not going to pay you 50% now and then put them on eBay for 50%. So now, I got to look at it that way. So now I'm buying even less, or I'm offering even less, and I'll explain that to them. And it's probably 50-50 where we're really not buying much anymore and we don't need to buy. And if we do buy, like that one guy with the sports cards, we offered less. He wanted to sell them elsewhere because he had a good card. Now when he doesn't have that good card, there's no one to buy his card. So he kind of stiffed himself.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I think they are understandable for the most part and they get it.
Yeah. And I just kind of want to know if anybody else is noticing it out there, because I've had a talk with a few people in my day job as well, customers in my day job. And the one guy was a contractor and he was just telling me the tales of woe and how, take one out back and make an example. There you go.
These two are good too.
Where you see yourself in 23 weeks, the unemployment line.
In 2 days.
Exactly. But he was mentioning all of the problems that he's had with, suppliers. And at some point he just gave up trying to fight because he's got to smooth things over with the customer. And he told the customer this will be done at such and such a point, and the suppliers aren't coming through for him. And he's got to smooth it over with the homeowner, hoping the homeowner understands it's not him. He's ready to put the thing in, the shower in or whatever it is.
Right.
He just can't get the pieces from it. He was promised. And he was given an example. He ordered a couch, threw his old couch out 3 times. They've delivered the wrong couch. 3 times. And he goes, what are you going to do? Maybe someday I'll have a couch.
Well, and that's where my wife's different. She's the one who wants to do all the yelling. And oh wow, I was about to tell you a good story, but I'm going to save it for a rambling story next time.
Great Retiration in Reselling, as I read the title. There you go. Yeah, so it's interesting. I think people changed after the pandemic. I think people are just so used to just and another point, and we're not a political channel at all, but have you had the experience where you go to buy something and you take one look at it and you go, I'll give you a perfect example. And I know there's other issues as well as supply chain and that kind of stuff. But have you seen what bleach costs nowadays?
Oh, you can't get bleach because, well, I mean, it's hard to find like the dollar bottles in the dollar store because I used to buy them all the time and put them in a vending machine. We haven't bought bleach in 6 months. Yeah, it's crazy.
A bottle of bleach.
Yeah. $5 now at least.
$4.69 for the off-brand.
Yeah, I think you can get 2 packs or 3 packs at BJ's or something, which is a little cheaper, maybe $4. But yeah,
it's bleach.
They used to be $1.50.
Yes, exactly.
And not long ago.
Yes. And it's one of those deals. I went in the store. I took one look at it. I looked at all the different brands of bleach. I said, I need bleach. What am I going to do?
Luckily, it's not like milk where you're going to go, you need a gallon of bleach every week. But
no, right. but
if you do need a lot of bleach, we got to look in your backyard and 6 feet under.
Well, I got a job as the cleaner. But yeah, and I just looked at it and I said, $4.69.
If you want it, that's what you got to pay.
That's insane. Exactly.
Yeah.
I go, that's insane.
Yeah.
And so on, just across any number of things. And you just throw up your hand. You go, that's crazy.
Yeah.
What am I going to do about it? And there are times where you'll sit there and you'll say, I'm not going to buy this because there's a substitute, or I don't really need this, or whatever the case happens to be. But on something like that, you need it. You need it. Yeah. It's almost like if you went to the gas station and gas was $6 a gallon. What are you going to do about it?
That.
Yeah,
well,
you're walking.
Yeah, you're going to be home and getting fired.
Eric Parent. There you go.
Okay, yeah.
Bernie, you know Bernie Parent.
Sure.
Yeah, yep, exactly. That was the main reason why the prices had gone up. But again, I just was like, the Great Resignation. Oh, well, what can I do about it? And again, like Mr. Magazine said, I don't need to buy much bleach. Need to buy a bottle, and 6 months from now, I need to buy another bottle, or whatever it works out to. Hopefully, it went down, and if it didn't, oh well.
Yeah,
10 pounds.
Yeah, ice cream too.
7 pounds for more money.
Yeah,
that might have melded. I'm just saying. We're going to head on into the rambling story of the week, and I actually have it today, Mr. Magazine.
I like it. It takes a little pressure off me, but remind me about that one I talked about the Monday. We're going to use it next week.
Okay. So I called the happy handyman today, my handyman. And why he answers the phone, I still don't know.
Well, he wants to show you he's happy.
No, he is the happy handyman. But given that I called him, and first thing he said, literally, he didn't even say hello. He picked up the phone and goes, "What'd you break now?" I said, "Really? That's the kind of faith you have.
Ask him out to lunch.
That's the kind of faith you have in me." So last week, there was a little bit of water in my basement. We love basement water stories. But it wasn't from rain because it hasn't been raining lately.
Okay.
And I've got a couple of dehumidifiers down there. And I had a couple of things over in front of, I've got one of those big old ancient sinks down there.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to pour the water in there out of the dehumidifiers, and I don't have them hooked up to the hose, which I know you could. I actually poured them in there. And the way I poured it, I kind of stumbled as I poured it, and some of the water splashed out. So some of it got on the floor. I said, okay, that's what the water's there because of.
Yeah.
All right, no problem. So I got the dehumidifier going and everything like that. And it was still wet the next day. And I go, it's kind of odd. The dehumidifier's going, but it's wet.
Yeah.
I did laundry. Go back downstairs, whatever. It's still wet. I said, uh-oh, that's not good. That either means I've got a
hot water tank.
Well, the hot water tank is fine because it's way over there.
Okay. But
one of the hoses going into the washer, or that sink because the water drains into the sink.
Yeah.
Maybe the bottom of the sink is wet, got a little hole in it and rotted out, and water's coming down there. I said, oh, geez. So I'm looking around trying to find it, and the water's there. And I go, oh, God, I got to figure this out. It's not easy to do. I can't, I got to do all this. This morning I went down there, and the one humidifier was all filled up. So I took it and I poured the water out. And I said, the other humidifier is probably about filled up. They're not exactly 100% on the same schedule. I grabbed the other dehumidifier, dehumidifier.
Yeah.
And it had about an inch of water at the bottom of the bucket. I said, wait a minute.
Is that not working right?
Why would one of them be completely filled?
Yeah.
And the other one have almost nothing in it? I said, you know where this water is coming from? there are little seep holes or little holes that the water goes through and then dips down into the bucket.
Yeah.
Those holes sometimes get clogged. And if they get clogged, the water's got nowhere to go out, and it just kind of goes out all over the floor.
So the empty one had a leak in it.
It didn't have a leak. The water was going out not the right way.
Right.
So I grabbed the screwdriver and I did that, and it's working. I called the handyman and I said, I don't need you. I said, I'll be honest. I've been really good at being able to repair everything all along. I just want you to feel good about yourself. And he laughed about that.
Dehumidifier glitch of the week.
I was able to fix that, and I told him, look, if you got any dehumidifier problems, you know who to call now. So was able to solve that problem on my own. Are you proud of me?
It's good stuff, yeah.
Yeah, there we go. We'll see what people say over here, and then we'll head on out. Priority boxes are lighter and thinner now. They're paper envelopes only. Any lighter, and they'll be translucent. Better the carriers decide what to steal. There you go. No, they don't do that. They're well compensated. All right, everybody. It was a fun little show tonight. And again, I know it was kind of a gloomy topic as far as the Great Resignation and all that goes, but it's happening out there. People are just like we said, they're just getting older and you can't fight City Hall. Just the way things are going. Use it to your advantage if you're able to. I guess the one advantage is your blood pressure is not as high.
Yeah.
As far as everything goes, hit the like button if you could. I just heard that, and that's always a very, very good idea. Come on by Whatnot tomorrow, 4 p.m. Some great books, customer appreciation sale, $3 starts on it. And you got anything else, Mr. Magazine?
No, that's it. I'm good.
All righty. Thank you, everybody. Hit the like button, and we will see you next video.
Take care. Bye-bye.